As the small outboard is disassembled and cleaned already, so I'm going to repaint at least the lower part to look more pretty. The water pump housing is quite in decent shape. It has quite no workout inside, so it's okay. I like it. But this seal is also in good shape, but the sealing spring is completely rotten. You can see it here that there's just some solid particles. I just got a new one, not Suzuki, just regular all-purpose seal. 22 millimeters outside and 10 millimeters inside, so it should fit here. I'll try to remove the old one now, just using screwdriver. Here it is. Just a rag and screwdriver. I just found the socket which perfectly fits there, and I'll use to push the seal in. Here it is. Ta-dam! I assumed the impeller would be worn out, and that was one of the reasons to disassemble my lower unit. But it appears to be quite in good shape, and I've got a new one, and the new one is apparently a little bit lower. The old one is higher a little bit, and if to measure, we find that this to be approximately 14 and above, and this one is 13 and a half, so half a millimeter lower. And the height is very important, as the housing is of particular size also. So if to put the new one here, I can feel that it sits a little lower than necessary. So I think I will leave the old one, and the new one will be as a spare. Turning the shaft clockwise, and it is in its place. But I forgot to apply some sealant. Okay, let's take it away. One of the studs came off completely, so I have to put it back and applying some grease to prevent seizing. Here is my Suzuki bearing with housing. Here I got my new bearing, very smooth, easy going, but no O-ring. And here is the old one, and you can see that it is working not as it should. You see? I washed it well, but it is something wrong with it. So it's time to assemble my lower. Insert the prop shaft, and here I made this setup. So here is the prop shaft, here is the gearing, and in this end this pin should stay like this, but it should not fall away when I put it here. So let's put some grease to hold it in place. I nearly made a big mistake while assembling the prop shaft to the lower gearbox. After I checked the performance, I noticed that there is no reverse gear. And then I checked the manual and found that this pin rod is missing. This pin rod goes inside this hollow prop shaft, and when it is missing, this push rod is too short. I checked out carefully the gearbox and found it laying there deep inside. So now I need to assemble it again. Here it is. The spring is strong enough and it pushes this gearing case out. Assembling all again. So the drive shaft spinning direction is clockwise, and the prop shaft spins clockwise if to look from the behind. Trying to pull and you see neutral trying to pull even more. Oh, here it is. And you see the rotation is reverse. So the next step is to make pressure test to see if it is sealed correctly, and the next step after that is to prepare for painting. As you can see, here is not very nice view. A new Teflon tape. I just opened this hole. This bolt was here, and it is a limiter for this rod. It limits this rod travel. But apparently the threads are not very good here or there, I don't know. As if I put it back and it goes round and round. So I'm going to degrease it here, and for testing I just put Teflon tape also here. So my pressure test failed completely. Very clearly whistle can be heard, and I suspect the seal which is under the water pump. So I need to remove water pump again and check for that seal. Again, removed the water pump and opening this plate, and I should find I should remove this plate also, this big plate. So removing this limiting bolt again. Here I found the place for screwdriver, so just here it goes. Just the gasket is damaged already. With the help of brutal force, I pulled this pull rod out, and now I can remove all this device completely. Here it is. Here you can see the shape for pulling the clutch dog to reverse and to forward, but I can't see the neutral. Here is the bearing. It is just not clean, but I think it's okay. And the seal should be under it. But this seal shocked me most of all. As you can see, it is completely loose. So I removed the vertical shaft and this push-pull rod out behind the camera, and also cleaned a little bit this plate. I found seals here inside, which I should replace, of course, And the very interesting thing that this was sitting here, and that was not a seal at all. It's just a washer and the O-ring, but I doubt it is supposed to be so. I'll go to look at the manual. The gasket has been ruined. Such thick gasket. This one is thicker a bit. I managed to pull off this gear shift rod, but it is now impossible to put back because it won't go. So I need to remove prop shaft again and insert this only after that. I bought a new seal, which is regular seal, not Suzuki Union. Fits here with the socket very well, and I'm going to push it into this retainer. Little bit more. Pushed it to the end. I'm going to insert the vertical shaft. As you can see, here is the end of the shaft and the pinion is missing. And pinion is here. Here it is. So I need to lift the shaft a little bit, put the pinion and insert the shaft into the slices here. Here it is. Easier than I thought. Now I need to install this gear shifter. Here I put some tape for preventing from falling this seal. Here it is. Here is the limiting bolt which goes here and it gets into the slot of the shifter. It is with damaged thread and I put some tape to seal it and to keep in place and hope it will not leak and will not fall out. This O-ring is supposed to keep sealed the box, the gearbox, the lower unit. Here is water, here is oil. This is a water pump plate, stainless water pump plate, and it has this gasket. Unfortunately, it is in bad shape and I have no new one, so perhaps I'll use silicone sealant. A spring here is missing too. So I bought new seals which have the spring, approximately the size I need. Unfortunately, this spring is not stainless, but it is better than none. Here it is. I think that I put 2 springs here. And the last thing in all this setup is this washer and this, I don't know what it is, key. So I made a small mistake. This washer should be above this key, and now it's time for pressure test. Dropping a little bit. Not a big deal. This is my nipple is leaking. One more leak here. So I need good gaskets under the plugs here and here, and the rest thing I want to do with this lower unit is to paint it. We have nice cherry blossom, and here is my lower, ready for painting. The sun sets already and getting darker, but it worked out quite nice. So first I need to tighten those bolts, and only then this gear shift pull rod can be fastened. And it is supposed to be here in forward, and the lever here also in forward, in this case. Here it is. This is a prop pin which should be straight, but it is bent a little bit. Try to straighten it, but not with big luck. Here is the prop nut. There is some crack, but it will work. This part I made myself from stainless steel wire, and here it goes. It's time to fill the lower with oil, and usually you should fill it through the drain plug and fill it till it flows out from the upper plug, but I have no oil filler pump, so I'm going to fill it through the upper plug. This one is sealed already and fastened, so let's undo this one. I'm going to use automotive transmission oil and fill it with an old silicone syringe. It is about 350 milliliters. I don't know how much should it go there. Okay, one more. So here comes the second dose. I'll put a rack here. Better here. Here it is full. I've got no good gasket for the plug, so I'm using the propane gasket. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. It stretches and yeah, not good. I made these two gaskets from Paronit I don't know how it is in English, and going to use them instead. Too small. Shit. So here they are, made new one, new two. They are two, and let's put them in place. Okay, so here it is, ready to go. Maybe I'll check it once again how it works. And as you remember, it is not the main outboard. I am using it just as backup, and once it rescued me already, so this is a good thing to have a backup.